Hello everybody. In this lecture we will be discussing error analysis part 2. This mostly includes numericals and previous year questions like those from JEE Advanced 2017, JEE Mains 2019 and IIT JEE 2010. So it's my recommendation to you check out the previous lecture. It's hung up there. Yes. So you should know what error analysis is before doing the numericals. So the first three questions will be a basic brush up and then we'll go for the advanced level questions. Okay, so let's begin with today's class, which is numerical only. Okay, so the first one is percentage error in radius of sphere is 3%. So they have given the percentage error in the radius of sphere, which is 3%, and calculate. So they have asked you to calculate a percentage error in first one is surface area. I'll write it. Okay, surface area SA, and second one is volume. So this is easy peasy. If you have seen the previous lecture, we are just doing brush up a little bit. Those who want to directly jump to the advanced level question can watch from question 4 onwards. So yeah, so what is the formula for surface area? You should know the formulas for this. So S is equal to 4 pi r square. Now percentage error, so make it first relative. So delta S by S. So this is relative error in S. Will finally what we'll do, multiply by 100 and convert it into percentage error. So 4 pi is a constant. Okay, constants don't have errors, so we can safely neglect that. And error in r square, so power, what did I tell you about the power? So it comes down into relative error of that quantity. The power comes down, the previous lecture I'm speaking of, power comes down into relative error of that quantity. Okay, so this is already given. No, first multiply by 100 on both the sides. So in order to convert it into percentage error, so 100%, and here also 100%. So they have provided you this. The percentage error in radius of sphere is 3%. So this is the percentage error in radius, 3%. So 2 times 3%, which is 6%. So the percentage error in surface area, this is that. So percentage error in surface area is 6%. Similarly, can we do it for volume as well? 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay, this is the formula. You should know it from your basic maths, from your 10th standard. So okay, so relative change in volume will multiply directly by 100. So since we want the percentage, and 4 upon 3 pi, so it will be a constant as well. No errors in constant. So this 3 is in power, so bring that power down into relative error of r, and as we have multiplied 100 over here, 100. Okay, this is easy now. Again easy, percentage. So again we know this is percentage error in radius r, so which is 3. So 3 into 3 is 9%. The percentage error in surface area is 6% and the percentage error in volume is 9%. That was a basic brush up. You can copy that, or you might have done it yourself. It was easy. Now let's go for question 2. Question 2, okay. Question 2, they have given us a circuit. No need to worry, it's your basic circuit from 10th standard. Here is a voltmeter, here is spikes, no resistance, here is ammeter, and here they have given you some reading. So this voltmeter shows a reading of 100 plus or minus 5.0 volts. This is the reading of the voltmeter, and here is the reading of ammeter, 10 plus minus 0.2 ampere, of course. So yeah, so you have to calculate the percentage error in R. So R means resistance. Calculate calculate percentage error in R. So you need to know the Ohm's law. You will know it, very basic. So I will give you the options: 5%, 6%, 7%, 10%. Okay, you give it a try. It's very easy. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what is the Ohm's law? V equals I R. So you have to calculate the error in R. So we'll keep R over there and V by I. So we converted the formula in terms of R. So now use this. So for finding percentage error, first convert it into relative, delta R by R. So similarly, these are in division. So what do you do in multiplication or division? Add their relative errors. So relative error of V plus relative error of I. So those are blank now. You should go and check out the previous lecture. Delta V by V. So what is delta V here? So delta V is 5 upon 100. Okay, plus, now this plus, and delta I is here, the error in I, and I is over here. Okay, so now remember significant figures. Here we have 1, so yeah, it will be 1 only, 0.05. So this is 1 only. Shift 2 decimals, and here shift 1 decimal, 0.02. Okay, so you get 0.07. Now this is relative error. To convert it into percentage error, multiply it by 100. So when you multiply 100, 1, 2 decimal shifts, and where can I write that? So delta R by R into 100. So into 100. So this quantity into 100, which this is the answer. So 1, 2, shift 2 decimals, 7%. So 7%. Congratulations if you got it. Now let's go for the third one. Copy it quickly. You should do it actually, not copy. Okay. Let's go for the third one. From question 4, the questions will turn into advanced level. So this is just a brush up for those who know basics of error analysis. Question 3. So they have given us a physical quantity P. So it has a formula alpha cube beta square, all Greek terms. This is eta, not coefficient of viscosity, gamma, some terms. Okay, so they have given the percentage error in each of them. The percentage error in alpha, beta, gamma and eta are 1%, 3%, 4% and finally 2% respectively. Okay, so alpha is 1%, beta is 3%, gamma is 4% and eta is 2% respectively. So you have to calculate percentage error in P, of course, percentage error in P. You have to calculate the percentage error in P. It's easy as well, again easy question. C, D, A, B, C, D. I will give you the options. Quickly try it. 12, 10, 13, 11. All percentages. Okay, quickly try it. So 1, 2, 3. Pause and try. Okay. So let's do it. Now, first, since they have asked for percentage, go for relative first. And finally, you will multiply it by 100. So delta P by P. And now, multiplication, division and powers as well. So look for the powers, and so power is 3. So 3 into relative error of alpha. Now this and this are multiplied, so you have to add their relative errors, but it's also raised to a power. So get that power down. 2 into beta, relative error of beta, upon. So upon is division, so that doesn't really matter, and power is 1, so no issues with that. So 1 into whatever is 1 only. So relative error of eta, 1 into relative error of eta. And what is raised I'm done with this, I guess. So I told you that root, in every lecture almost I told you that roots, you can replace the root sign by a half. So it's raised to a power half. So raised to a power half, so that half comes down into relative error of gamma. So now just substitute, or rather you multiply it by 100 first. So that step I'll skip, because when you multiply it by 100 they will convert into percentage errors, and they have provided the percentage errors. So it's understood that I have multiplied it by 100. I'll directly substitute the values. Okay, 100%, so this into 100%, so percentage error in alpha, which is 1%, so that this term into 100 will be 1, so 3 into 1. Okay, now beta, and here also, okay, I'll write 100, everywhere you multiply. Okay, yeah, everywhere you multiply 100, so beta has 3, so twice into 3%. And you have gamma has 4. Gamma, this is eta, that is gamma, so gamma has 4, half into 4. Okay, and eta for beta, gamma, eta will be the last one, 2%. So just add that, 2 into 1, whatever. So finally you have 3 plus 6 plus 2 plus 2 cancels 2. So 2 to 4, 10, 13. So this is 13%. 13 is the correct answer. If you got it, it's congratulations. So I just multiplied 100 here everywhere. So I've skipped that step and I actually replaced that by their percentage errors. Okay. So now let's go for the advanced level problems. So the next problem is from, I guess, JEE Advanced 2017. Yes, so it's from JEE Advanced 2017. Wow. Okay, so fourth one. So R1 is, they have given some resistances. Resistances R1, ohms. I hope you know that symbol. It's ohms. 200 plus or minus 4 ohm. Okay. So I have manipulated the values. It's not like the exact advanced question, but the concept is the same. So okay. So find relative error when connected in parallel. Nice question. Connected in parallel. Series is to just add them, but parallel you have to add their reciprocals. A, B, C, D. So for those who don't know what happens in parallel, this is the case. R1 plus R2. We didn't learn anything for this. Like we learned for x plus delta x will be x plus will be A plus B, and then or delta x will be delta A plus delta B. For addition, for multiplication we learned it as adding the relative errors, but we didn't learn for this thing, right? We are stuck when it comes to reciprocal. So what will you do? So I'll give you some time to think. 0.05, 0.06, 0.07, or is it 0.01? Okay, you can try it. You can think of it, though it's completely different for you. Okay, now I will do it. You can try it. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I insist on simplifying this formula. Okay, you can differentiate as well, but since they have asked for relative errors, I will simplify this formula. Okay, so I'll take the LCM R1 R2 plus R1. Okay, now we want I, because we don't know how to go about reciprocals, right? We know for others, but we don't know for reciprocals. We know multiplication, division, and all other things, but reciprocal, so we get something like this: product upon sum. If you knew it directly, very good. So this is the simplified form of that. This will help, the below formula will help us calculate that. Now you can do it easily. Now it's easy. Now if you want to try, now you can try it. So that is the simplified version. Now it's easy. See, this and this are in product, and this whole you take as one term. This down term you take it whole as one term. Okay, so it's like x y upon z. So you have to add their relative errors, multiplication and division. So you got the idea. It was that easy. Okay, so delta Re upon Re. E means equivalent resistance. Okay, so delta R1. Now add their relative errors. The question is gone. So if you had to generate this thought process, it would have been easier for you. R1 plus R2 upon R1 plus R2. So this is the simplified form. I'll remove it now. So relative error only they want, no percentage error. So delta R1, which is this, 3 upon 100. Now let's go for delta R2, which is 4 upon 200. R2 is 200. Okay, and finally they want, now we need to calculate that what is R1 plus R2. R1 plus R2 will be 300, but if you want the error in them, when you add two quantities, add or subtract two quantities, errors are always added. So it will be something like 307. Now this is R1 plus R2. This is how it looks like. Okay, I added both of this. Now, so delta R1 plus R2, which is this, we consider that as a term. Okay, so wise thing upon 300. So okay, so shift to decimal 0.03, shift 0.02, yeah, 0.02, and this will be 3 to the 6, 2.33, yeah, 2.33, and shift to decimal, so 0.0233. Okay, now remember significant figures: 0.03, 0.02 plus 0.0233, whatever it goes on, 3347, 0.07. But significant figure says that least number of, this is addition, right? So least number of decimal places, 1 2 1 2. Here it has more, so 2 decimal places. So drop this 3 as well. So 0.07. Congratulations, you have cracked an advanced level question. So here is a JEE Main 2019 question. So it says it has given the formula for time period of pendulum. The length is so and so with errors they have given, and they have made 100 oscillations which took them 90 seconds, and they have measured the time using a wristwatch of 1 second least count. So what is this least count? So I have to tell you that before you proceed with the question. So least count is basically the smallest value that your instrument can measure, any instrument. So for that purpose, so smallest value that your instrument can measure. If you, for example, if you take a scale, your normal 15 centimeter scale, so it can measure smallest of 1 millimeter, right? So 1 millimeter, beyond that it cannot measure. Less than 1 millimeter it cannot measure. There are no deviations beyond that. So in the same way, this wristwatch has 1 second. Minimum it can measure is 1 second. So 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. In between them, it cannot say perfectly. Okay, there will be some error. So yeah, that is the point I want you to take away. So yeah, so least count is a way of saying that it has some error, right? It can minimum measure 1 second. So in between 2 seconds, it cannot measure what's, if the time was between these 2 seconds, so it gives rise to some error. So you either, if the time was between, like for in this example we'll take, okay, so they, for them 100 oscillations took 90 seconds, but suppose this is 90 seconds, 91 seconds, 92 seconds. And now Yeah, it took them 90 seconds. But are you sure about those 90? Because your clock was like every time it was like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you could not measure something in between, right? So the error that you can do was either it was just okay, it's not 92 over here, it's 89, 89, 90, 90, 91. So tuck, tuck, tuck. Your clock went this way. Okay, so you said it's 90, but are you sure? No, because your clock could have been between 89 and 90. So that time you cannot come to a conclusion. You can either say it's 89 or you can either say it's 90. Okay, so it's giving rise to some error. Yeah, list count is giving rise to an error. So that is error in itself actually. So here also 90 to 91. You can have something in between and you will still say it's either 90 or 91, right? You cannot measure in between. So the safe way of saying that 90 is 400 oscillations it took you 90 seconds. So 90 plus minus 1. Exactly. Because either it will be between 89 and 90 or either it will be between 90 and 91. It can be 90 as well, but you are not sure. Your clock is limiting you from doing that. That is the speciality of error, where accuracy ends, error begins. Where accuracy ends, error begins. So you cannot measure beyond 1 second, so there comes the error. Okay, so we have accounted for the maximum one. We could have said 0.5 also, it's between, so 0.5. No, we have accounted for the maximum one. So like see, if the true value, like the true oscillation took it like 89.999 seconds, but you said it's 90. Okay, you now it took you, okay, I'll change this value. The actual true value was 90.999, but you could not see that. You just saw it crossing 90, crossing 90. You said 90 cross. Okay, you didn't go behind it and you just said 90 cross, 100 oscillation, 90 cross. Okay, and you said our oscillation for 100 oscillation it took us 90, but actual true value was 90.999. Okay, just assuming, you cannot know the true value, so it gives a 0.999. So you can approximately say that this is 1, right? 0.9999, so both that is 1. Okay, so yeah, so this is nothing but the least count. Where error, so where accuracy goes, error enters. So where accuracy ends, error begins. So yeah, I hope you got that idea. You could have either said 91, that would have been close to the value, but you saw it going, it crossed 90. You said 100 oscillation, 100 oscillation, 90 is crossed. So yeah. So we account for the maximum error, maximum absolute error. Rather, you can say that list count is maximum absolute error. It can be also said this way, maximum absolute error. The whole, this is the takeaway point. So the list count itself is the error. Okay, not actually differs by 0.999 that way. So but still, list count is the max absolute error and you can replace it by error. So are we done? Are we done? If you are saying we are done, like we can do the question now, you will make a conceptual mistake. Still you'll get the correct answer, but still, okay, you do it, you try it. So 90 plus 1, plus or minus 1. That is what this statement means. 90, so 90 plus minus 1. So that is the way you treat list count as. So there was a bit error in the options. I mean, there was a mistake in the options, error in error. So yeah, so these are the new options. You can quickly try that out now. Okay, I'll move out. Okay, so now I will do it. So they have asked for percentage error in G. So let's go for it. Now square both sides since we want G, 4 pi square L by G. Okay, now make G subject, so bring G over here and T square over there. So you have G over here, 4 pi square L by t square. Okay, you took g here and t square there. Now you find the percentage error. Now it's easy. Into 100% is equal to, now 4 pi constant, 4 pi square constant, and these are in division, so delta L by L, add their relative errors. This has power 2, so 2 times the relative error in t. So I'll need some space now. Okay, let's do it over here. Okay, so equal to, okay, into 100 I missed out, so I'll put a bracket and say into 100. It's percentage error. I multiplied 100 here, so 100 there as well. Okay, percentage error. So delta L by L, which is delta L is over here, delta L is over here, L is over here. Fine. But what about delta 2? Okay, 2. Delta T by T. Now, if you're tempted to go for this, the ratio is actually right. But if you say delta T is this and T is this, you are making a big error, because this T stands for time period and this delta T stands for the error in time period. Actually, the ratio will give you the correct answer. We'll come to it when uh, just after this, after discussing this problem, why it happens. Okay, for now it's correct for now. Okay, the ratio is always correct, obviously. Okay, you noted that down. We need some space for calculation. So this gives us 0.20, so 0.1 divided by 2 will give us 0.05, and one more shifting of decimal, so 0.005 plus 90 by, what we can say, 90, so 2 by 90, so 90 here, dot 0 0 2 180, 2 again, 20 again, so yeah, 2 2 2 2 2, so 0.022222, so 0.022222, that goes on. Okay, now let's add those. 0.005 plus 0.02222, that goes on. Okay, write it properly, 0.0. Okay, now add this, 2 over here, 7 over here, 2 over here, 0. Now follow significant figures. So least number of decimal places 1 2 3. This is addition, so least number of decimal places 1 2 3. So you keep 3 decimal places 1 2 3. So we have to drop this 2 and the other 2's which were following, and I didn't consider it over here. So 27, and of course it was into 100, which I forgot to write over here as well. Sorry for that. So it was into 100 because it was percentage error, right? So 0.027 into 100, shift to decimals 1 2, that gives you 2.7 percentage. So this is the correct answer, but here where we took delta T by T, if you say T is time period and you put it equal to 90, then you are making a mistake. Let's come to that, but this for now is the correct answer. For now means it's the correct answer. Okay, so let's discuss what was happening in between. Like, why did we get a correct answer if delta T was not, 1 and del capital, of course, so, and T was not 90. So why did we get the correct answer? Why? Here's the answer to that. So this will be the most important, what can I say, slide of the lecture. So first, one thing we learned from the previous question was least count is max absolute error, and I justified you of being that. Okay, and now let's learn the fact why is it, for what's happening, why we are putting wrong values and getting the correct answer. Okay, so what is time period? If I ask you to define it, you'll say the time taken for a pendulum to complete one oscillation. So one oscillation. Okay, so you leave it from here, so it goes here and comes back. So that is one oscillation. Time taken in one oscillation. Okay, so time taken in one oscillation. Let me define some terms before that. T will take as time period. T will take as time period. Small t will take as total time. In the previous it was 90. Time period we didn't actually calculate in the previous one, you'll come to know. N will take for number of oscillations. Capital delta T is error in T, error in time period, capital T. So, and small delta T is error in total time. Okay, so these are the short forms that I am going to use now. So see, time period is the amount of time taken for completing one oscillation. So one oscillation took this much of time, t, right? So n oscillations, n in the previous case was 100 oscillations that we didn't consider during the question only. Okay, so anyways, so n oscillations it took t time, it was 100, it was 90 seconds, right? So one oscillation is that, for one oscillation it will take the time period, for n oscillations it will take the t, total time which they provide you. Now if you want to find the time period, because this is unknown, right, you don't know the time period, so what to do? T by n. Okay, it's simple, T by n. So this is the first result. Okay. T by n. T is equal to T by n. This is time period. Time period is equal to total time upon n. So the previous question I'm speaking of. So time period in the previous question was, what was this total time? 90 seconds. And what was the number of oscillations? It was 100. So it was 0.9 and not 90, right? But we were getting the right answer, sir. So what is the issue? So now take relative errors on both sides. So delta t by t, taking relative errors on both sides, and here also you can take delta t by t. Okay, and n is a number of oscillations, it is constant, so 1 by n will be also a constant. So yeah, it goes off, constant don't appear in that. Okay, so this is the reason why you were getting the correct answer. Okay, so see, delta t is previous question, delta t we didn't knew, but delta t, this we substituted, no, it was 90 plus minus 1. So this one was the error in total time, whole over the, for entire 90 seconds our defect in time or error in time was 1, right? And for this t is total time, which was 90, right? But this whole thing is equal to this, right? What did we get? Delta g by g is equal to delta l by l, just 2 times. Please see the previous problem, keep it in front of you, you'll get to know. So this delta t by t can be replaced by this. So that was the reason we were getting correct answer in spite of substituting wrong values. Like for time period we substituted total time 90. Okay, sir. So we got the reason, and I want you to note down these formulas as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's go for. Okay, if some problem asks you for delta t. Okay, so what to do? Delta t by t, and take this t over there. And what is this t? T by n. So delta t by t into t by n, which is simply delta t by n. So formula number 4, where can I write that? Here I will write. So delta t is equal to delta small t upon n. Okay, so here you can visualize a very good thing. I told you errors, as you repeat an experiment, you shorten the error, you lessen the error. See, here this is error in time period, error in time period, error in total time over the entire time. Okay, so that you have to divide by the number of oscillations. Oscillations is just a way of repeating the experiment, right? One oscillation, one time period, two oscillations, second time you calculated the time period. So you are repeating the experiment. So repeating the experiment lessens the error over. Lecture 1, repeating the what? Repeating the experiment lessens the error. So that is shown through this. Okay, the takeaway point, if you want to take just the thing that is required for problems, one is least count will be your error. This will be also delta t in such problems. Okay, the least count will be the error. Second is time period will be t by n. Okay, time period is total time divided by number of oscillations. Yeah, so now this is the reason why we got correct answer in spite of substituting in wrong values, because the ratio is constant. Delta t by d, t by t is equal to delta t by t. And finally we computed for delta t, which we will require in the next problem, so I did it here only. So this is the most important page, I can say, of today's lecture. Make sure you note it down. I hope you got the idea. Now let's go for next problem, which is from JEE Advanced. Like, I have got the problems conceptually. I have changed the numerical values. Purposely I have changed because when you'll practice your PYQs, previous year's question, so that you should not find them. Okay, so this is a JEE 2010 question. So that time there was no advanced and mains. It began in 2012, advanced and mains. Okay, here it's given the least count. For us, it's the least count is maximum absolute error. Least count of stopwatch. So JEE is very fond of this such type of question of time period, 0.2 seconds. The time of 20 oscillations is 25 seconds. Okay, now calculate. This is the problem. Delta t, if I had not told you about this delta t, then you would have said it's equal, delta t is same as delta t. So you'll say it has 0.2, which is wrong. Okay, you'll come to know, actually. And percentage error in t, capital T, time period. Okay, so they have provided the options very close. 0.01 seconds, percentage error is 8%, or is it second one? 0.01 second, percentage error 0.8 seconds, 0.8%, sorry. Third one is time is 1 second, or sorry, 0.1 second, percentage error is 0.8%. Here it's delta t is 0.1 seconds and percentage error is 8%. So very confusing options. You try the question. It's easy now. Before, if you had to do it without knowing the concept, then you had have messed it up. Now it's easy. It's a JEE 2010 question. You can treat it as an advanced question. Okay, let's do it. So we need to calculate delta t. You already know the formula, delta t is equal to delta t upon n. So you repeat the experiment, it lessens the error. Okay, delta t. So error in total time, which is 0.2 seconds, divided by the number of times you do the experiment. So the number of oscillations. So here we get our answer, which is, it will be 0.1 and one more decimal shifting, so 0.01. So it's not this one, it's not this one, they have 0.1, 0.1, either one of them. So second thing is to calculate percentage error in t. Okay, we'll also do that now. Here only we'll do. So it's a short question. Percentage error. Okay, so we have to calculate delta t by t into 100%. So delta t is error in time period, okay, which we already know is 0.01 second. We have already calculated it just a moment before. What is t? T is time period. But what is time period? Time period is equal to total time taken upon number of oscillations. Look at your formulas. So total time taken is 25 seconds for 20 oscillations. So 25 by 2 is 12.25, 12.5, sorry, 12.5 and shifting of decimals. So 1.25, okay. Okay, I can do one more wise thing. So this is t, no? So 1 by t we want. So 20 by 25 I'll do. So 20 by 25, 25 over here, 20 over here, and of course we have 100 also. So 100 neutralizes with this. So 20 by 25. So 100, you got know what I did. So 100 is also there. So 100 into 0.01 is 1. This is 10 to the power minus 2 and that is 10 to the power 2. Okay, so here we have 5, 5 what's that? 5 5s are 5 4s are, and this will give us 0.08. 5 multiply 2, so 10, and here you'll get 8, so 0.8. Perfect. This is the correct answer. Option 2 is correct. Congratulations if you did it. Now we'll try one more of this sort since it's JEE favorite. It was short question, so we did it within the places remaining. If you knew the concept, it was easy. If you didn't knew, you would have messed it up. Now let's go for the final one. Today's final one. And then I'll say a bye. So a simple pendulum. These are JEE favorite questions, though it's not one of your JEE question, but still it was good, so I brought it up. 100 plus minus 0.1 centimeter time period. So they have directly given you the time period instead of doing the experiment again and again and providing you the data. Time period is 1 second and has done 100 oscillations. That also is given. Why? Has done 100 oscillations. Why, sir? Why? A clock of least count. So a clock of least count 0.1 second is used. Determine percentage error in G. Percentage error in G. So yeah, let's provide you the options. Is it 0.2%, 0.3%, 0.4% or is it 1%? Okay, quickly try it. It's easy now. 1, 2, 3. I will do it. So what they have asked, percentage error in G. Actually, if you know this by heart, now it's very good. Delta L by L plus 2 times delta T by T. So where did this came from? T was 2 pi under root L by G, right? So we squared both sides, square L by G. Now brought G over here and flipped it with that. Okay, L by T square. Okay, now you take, you'll get the same thing. Okay, delta G by G into 100%, it's percentage. Yeah, so why keep on forgetting that 100? So into 100 plus 2 times delta T by T into 100. Okay, yeah, so yeah, 4 pi goes 4 pi square L, delta L by L into 100, and T that has power 2, so 2 times delta T in T by T into 100. Okay, even you can remember this by heart like I did just now. Haha. So delta L they have provided 0.1 upon nice length 100, cancels with this 100. Okay, and 2 is delta T by T. Delta T. Okay, T they have given. T time period is 1 second. Okay, what about delta T? What about delta T? One way you can do is clock has least count 0.1. So delta T. This is error over entire time period. Entire time period which they have not given now. It will be 1 into 100 oscillations, so 100 seconds, but they have not given. Okay. So one way of doing it is like this is the error in time period over the entire time period, entire 100 seconds in this case. Now you want the error for one time period, so you can divide this by 100. Getting? Okay, if you are not getting, let's do it the other way. So let's go for T first. Let's calculate T. What was the total time? So if you remember, capital T was T by N. So you can say N times T is equal to total time. N times T is equal to total time, right? From here you can say this. Now it's easy. N is 100, time period is 1. So that was what I was saying. So total time is 100 seconds. Okay, so now you have total time as well, and the what do you say, delta T. This is delta T, small t, the error over the entire time period. This is the error over entire time period, not over this one oscillation. It's for all 100 oscillations. Okay. Yeah, so now you have T and delta T as well. So you know that delta T by T is equal to delta T by T. So you can replace that instead of calculating what we had to calculate, delta T. So we did it this way now. Okay, so delta T is 0.1 seconds upon small t is over here 100. Wow, again 100. So 100 cancels for 100, 100 cancels for 100. 0.1 plus 0.2 is 0.3, and that was percentage, of course. So B is the correct option. Okay, you can note it down if you want to. So that's all for today's lecture. I hope you enjoyed it. If you do hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. There is a very big surprise coming for you up for Christmas. So do check it out. And till then, keep enjoying physics.